Welcome back to the Trackmania World Tour 2023, Day 2 of Stage 1 of the Grand League. That's a long sentence, but it's also a fun sentence and a lot of fun matches to be had within this format.
Yes, it is. And now that we're back again, we're actually going to be back with one of the most interesting matches of today. It's going to be KC versus G1. KC won their match yesterday and G1 got the loss. So I think they have something they want to prove to the people. And what do you think about this match, Virtual?
So I was really impressed by KC yesterday. Otak had a lot of consistency. That was something I was a bit scared about. And also G1, their pace was present. They had some of the fastest times on all the maps. But their consistency was lacking. They crashed a lot. So I think we are seeing this dynamic play out once again of KC being a little bit more consistent and G1 being a little bit faster.
But, I mean, we can always hear what they got to say themselves. Nadeo did do a small interview here with Karmine Corp. And let's just jump into that one.
I want to win the Grand League. I don't care if I win or lose against Solari. He's a good friend of mine, Otak. I have full trust in him. I know he will play good.
I think I prefer to play in duo than in solo.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy, pretty excited, and I can't wait to start playing the league.
No, because I already trained with Bren last season.
Yes, it does. For the first time, I can finally share strats, try to figure out some stuff with someone.
It's the ability to find tricks.
His determination, like he's motivated when he's playing. It's nice to have someone on who you can rely on.
Yeah, we could have some strategy with the bans, of course.
During the rounds, there could be strategy regarding who is risking, who is safing, but we don't really know yet. I want to win the Grand League. I don't care if I win or lose against Solari.
I prefer to win Grand Leagues, because if we win the Grand League, we obviously beat Solari.
They're good friends of mine. I'll try to beat them just for my own ego and for the team ego. I'll try my hardest to beat them.
Really fun there to hear what Bren and Otak has to say about the season as a whole and their expectations. Yesterday they started on a clean win, winning 4-2 against Sinners.
They did really well, and if you look just on the paper, on the data, it does also look like Karmine Corp has a great chance to win tonight once again. But if anything has been proven tonight, it's that you can come back from a loss, no problem.
You can indeed. G1 was down 1 map to 4 yesterday against Alliance. Alliance showed themselves to be a very strong team today, of course, but we will see now going into this match if G1 can bounce back like Big did.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think G1 has some things that they could be doing. I think, for example, banning Agility Dash, one of the maps they play where some of the ending wasn't maybe the most consistent. They can do that, or at least hoping that they can pick some maps where they have practiced a little bit more. Maybe they even practice Agility Dash in case their opponent saw them play that yesterday and wants to pick it.
I mean, Agility Dash was one of the maps that KC won yesterday, and it did look like on the stats like they had good consistency. So I would think that it's a map they would not want to play, and they'd rather go into something they were stronger on, like Gyroscope. Gwen's snipes on Gyroscope yesterday were amazing, and if they want to play that, it could be possible that KC leaves it open, because they banned arrow pipes yesterday.
Yes, I mean, arrow pipes is also just a map. We've only seen it once so far in the entirety of the tournament, and when we saw it, everything looked so consistent. It looked so great, but I think that is the exception and not the rule. I think we saw some incredibly good players on that map. It's going to be interesting to see if we get that map picked once again. But correct me if I'm wrong. But I do think that Gamers First, they did get pretty consistent on back and forth, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, they had some good showings there. They also elected to ban Flip of Faith, actually, because that map they did not want to play. KC showed to be strong there, and so I'm wondering if G1 has to reserve their ban now after seeing KC play it.
Jumping into the picks and bans,
Let's get started.
Parkour instantly banned there. from Gamers First, and now we're looking at Karmine Corp's first ban. It's gonna be Arrow Pipes banned by KC.
Flip of Faith here could be a good choice. G1 banned it last game, and KC were actually quite strong on it. Maybe they surprised themselves on it as well.
I mean, it's gonna be interesting to see what they pick, but for now, it's OTAC picking a map here for Karmine Corp. They're thinking a little bit extra about it. Maybe they're looking at some of the stats there from yesterday as well.
Flip of Faith.
Flip of Faith coming in. Gyroscope immediately picked right afterwards. Okay.
Good answer. And now I think they're going to go for maybe Agility Dash because they had good consistency there. They saw they were a bit rusty. Okay, we see Freestyle instead. Also a map that they played really well on yesterday. Slow Down, the last choice from Karmine here. They have some 4 maps to choose from. I think Agility Dash would be a choice. I'm not going to say it's 100% because they also played well in reps, for example. Just whatever your heart contends here. And we have Gwen now picking the last map. Agility Dash does come through. Maybe something like... I'm not going to call it. Reps is the choice.
Okay, Reps is also super difficult. Back and forth actually not getting picked. Okay, interesting. So we're gonna have parkour, arrow pipes, and back and forth left out. And on the off chance we go to map 7, we got Slippy Slides picked as a random map.
I do wonder if KC actually got the best of this draft. I think they have maps that suit them. I think G1 having to ban parkour because they weren't feeling it does hinder them a little bit here.
It does.
In their versatility. We will see how it plays out. Jnic, if you had to predict right now, who do you think will win? Viewers are predicting in the chat. What's your prediction?
I think that KC looks to be the strongest team coming in from yesterday. Also with the pace that we're seeing that they were played yesterday. They're also coming in from a win with the momentum. But you never know. Maybe Gamers First. They're going to bring it today. They could definitely.
Gamers 1 had all the factors but one yesterday. I felt like when watching them, it was the pace, and the consistency that was lacking. The pace was there. Maybe they have figured out what went wrong. They're gonna first have to survive what should be an onslaught here from KC on their first map, Flip of Faith.
Yes, once again, Flip of Faith, an incredibly difficult map, including not 1, not 2, but 3 different barrel rolls in the map, and it's just a pleasure to see the players jump as low as they can without making any huge mistakes. And we're gonna jump into the first round right now. Can you take it away, Virtual?
Let's start this game. Match of the day, the last game played. This will see a lot after today on leaderboards on how the teams are stacking up. You know, playing 1 game, things can happen. After you play 2, you start to see some patterns, I feel. Maybe get a bit more familiar with their strength. Gwen clipping the corner in the start. The other 3 players get the first park pipe jump. And now the flip up. Bren going low, trying to land with that left back wheel as soon as possible. And him and OTAC are dead even in sync. The 2 KC teammates up 4 tenths ahead of Binks, who has a very tough ace to deny here.
Yeah, he needs to try to see if he can get up at least 1 position, but hopefully 2. If he does not overtake anybody, Gamers First are not going to get any points, and KC will take home an ace in the start. It was their map pick. OTAG with a slight mistake. Binks can now overtake. Is he going to be able to get the flips here in the ending to get Bren as well? You can go so risky with these flips if you want to. Bren going so low. What an amazing flip there coming in from Bren once again. With a low line, landing with the back left wheel early. What a great ending from Bren. And now Binks and OTAG coming in right afterwards, and Gwen ending it off 2-1 in the start.
That was a fantastic showing from Bren. He has so much experience playing these obstacle maps. He used to play trial maps, used to play RPG tracks as they are called, before entering the pro scene. He has seen enough barrel rolls in his time on those maps, and he's able to use that experience here on the pro scene. Even jumps like this are so commonly seen in the RPG community, and you see him getting them perfect just about every time here. So this is a strong pick for KC. G1 has to try to survive, has to try to find points where they can, and maybe try to take it away in the long run. But Bren right now.
But I do think OTAG made a huge mistake there on one of the barrel rolls and is now 10 seconds behind the rest of the field. So Bren, once again, tasked with getting that first place. Hopefully he can. If the last round was anything to show or any proof, then Bren definitely is going to get that finish once again here, but Gwen is going to try to overtake Bren. Bren and Gwen in the lead right now. who gets the lowest
That's
jumps.
low.
Gwen going super risky, but super low. Not getting quite the landing he wanted to, but still very, very nice attempt there. But Bren will maintain that lead.
Brandon nice, and it's a draw there. Good save from him as his teammate did miss in the start. And we go again. The scoreline will be 3-2 now.
A draw coming in 3-2, but it does look like Bren has a pace that Gamers First just cannot keep up with. And if OTAG can put himself in that supporting role that I think he's looking for, getting that second or third place, then Karmine Corp could really get quite a big of a lead soon.
They could start stacking on this. It's just about OTAG surviving those jumps. The times as well, 105, 104, very strong from Bren. He has that experience and he needs to use it now. His consistency needs to come through. OTAG, of course, one of the most exciting talents we have in the game. He is 18 years old, played his first World Cup final last year, ended 4th place there. Still a lot to learn in the league, but happy to have a mentor like Bren by his side to help him in this season. And then Binks and Gwen, 2 young French talents teaming up for this season, trying to show who the best French team is. They're gonna have to get past Bren. Gwen last time was 0.3 behind, now it's 0.1. He's gonna go for an even lower flip, and this is too low. Binks too far, I think, to do anything, and we should have another tie in our hands. I don't think they can make anything happen. Bren with a hat-trick win here.
With a hat-trick win, maybe he can get the quad or even the penta afterwards. Would be such a great showing here from Bren. OTAG hopefully will be able to not make a mistake there on the first barrel roll of the map. I think that's where we see him make the most mistakes. He might even be able to save it though, but 15 seconds of a deficit is putting Bren in a spot where he needs to get first every single round. He's looking to become that supporting role now. OTAG getting at least a 3rd place, so let's see if he can get the first barrel roll this round.
Yeah, a lot of pressure on OTAG, but I think Bren is just reassuring him, saying, you got this, it's alright. A common Trackmania saying is go, go. Whenever your teammate says go, go, you know it's symbolizing everything that you need to hear. Just go, go, go do what you have to. Go get it. And here, OTAG has survived the first flip, and Binks has made a big mistake. Binks has gotten 3 second places so far this match, only behind Bren. And the 2 players that have scored the most points effectively for their team are now in 3rd and 4th, so it's Gwen versus OTAG with an opportunity to score.
Yes, going into the identity, Gwen getting a little bit of airtime, but setting up for a good drift right now, so he will maintain the lead, 0.3 ahead of OTAG, but maybe OTAG will send it here in the ending. Gwen going really low, and now OTAG has the opportunity to go even lower on the second jump. He does not, he saves it, but I think it's a good call going for the draw.
Look at that time from Gwen, 1:04.10. That is extremely fast. We could have seen another new world record just now. Gwen, that is spectacular.
Spectacular indeed, and these 2 teams are going back and forth a lot. 5-4, as even as can be, almost. Hopefully we see OTAG once again getting this jump and the second barrel roll. Who's gonna go the lowest? You get such a tremendous amount of extra pace if you go low here. All the players seem to do it quite well, but Binks getting it the best. OTAG and Brent following right behind.
Apparently the fastest known time right now, 1:03.81. So about 3/10 away, but on such a technical and really trick-heavy map like this, that is almost nothing. Exceptional performance from Gwen there, and now Binks, his teammate, feeding off of that energy, showing, alright, let's win this now. Let's get up to the top. 5-4 is the scoreline, but G1 are looking hungry in this round. Bren needs a low flip to fend them off, and he's going quite high, at least compared to Gwen, who does a perfect low flip. 1 car length away now. Bren needs to strike that landing, but Gwen is right there. A little bit more speed, still 600ths in his favor, and a great round by all the players.
Great round. Everybody was very close to each other. Also, a lot of great rounds being put in chat there by the players. This is very, very close. Such a good matchup right now, and Gamers First are showing that they have nothing against playing against a team like Karmine Corp. Even if they lost yesterday, they are here to get the victory.
Yeah, very consistent times from all the field. Everyone driving 104s, some round in the low 105s as well. Two big flips though, as I'm talking about it. Mistakes have been made, and Gwen versus Bren in the battle for first to decide this round.
Yeah, Gwen versus Bren, a battle to behold, just like you said, but Gwen is kind of far ahead, almost half a second down to Bren here. So Bren needs to do some magic in the ending, maybe even push it a little bit further. Surely he sees that Binks is 9 seconds behind, so going for the extra push here, the extra risky, he can even respawn without losing a position, so he might just go as low as physically possible. He's going so low, but Gwen also got that same low trajectory, and I think he's gonna respawn here. Okay, I think he couldn't get it. Gwen getting first place. Bren will get that second. Binks and Otag will follow right behind.
Yeah, Bren just decided to try there. I mean, it's a respectable risk to take. You know that if you fail, you can still respawn. The round will be the same result regardless, and we go to 7-7, Jnic.
It was definitely a calculated risk. And, you know, that's what we're talking about when we once again say that these 2v2 formats, they change the game. Like, historically, only 1 versus 1s and 1 versus 1s like free-for-all have been made in the game. Now we're playing this 2v2 format, allowing these strategic plays to come in, and now we're seeing a 7-7 situation. Both the teams are able to get this point, the map point, if they get an ace now.
Ooh, good flip from Gwen, and we do see Bren getting it just a tad better than that again. Really fast start to this round. Otag and Binks also surviving, but with more airtime, and about a second between all four. Into the dirt now. This part not talked about too much, as we know how much of a difference a good flip can make. But look at this line here. Gwen versus Bren into the grass. They land as early as possible. Gwen going low, reducing airtime, setting up wider for the drift, trying to get more to the right early so he can go early left for speed here. Getting first would be decisive for Gwen. Solo, clean landing, more speed into this one. Can he use that to his advantage? Early landing for Gwen. Beautiful. Like an art piece in a museum. Gwen there, showing how this map's done.
That was impressive with that last jump. Once again, putting it into a draw, and it's now 8-8, even closer. If you get first and third, if you get those 2 points, you're gonna win. But we might see another draw. We might even see the game go into overtime, something we haven't really talked about today.
We have not talked about it, but if this map goes to 10-10, then we will keep playing until one team gets a decisive result. Winning by 1 point is enough, but you need to have more than a draw. We're not going to decide anything by names or by other weird arbitrary metrics. We're going to decide it like it should be done. Binks getting a great flip, and this could be decided here already. An ace is on the cards for Binks and Gwen if they keep this up.
Yeah, it is up to Bren to stop. Get first, actually. Anything else than first right now would give Gamers First the first map, which would be huge for them. Bren really needs to push it here as we go into the final drift before the identity. He's going to go for the low lines, the lowest of lines. We do hear Otag's car in the back, but is he going to be able to make it up? Are there going to be any mistakes coming in here?
Oh, no, this is not good for Casey. They looked so good on this map, but now Otag has to pass both G1 players. If he is to win, he gets a great flip, but it's not enough. Gwen and Binks take away Casey's map. 1-0.
They do take away Casey's map. A little bit of an upset, but really, really nice to see. But let's take a look at some of the highlights coming in from this map. Bren denying Gwen's snipe attempt with a clean ending. One of the things that Bren has been really, really good at, getting these clean endings going low.
Look at just that flip from Gwen. He sent it fully knowing he could respawn, but Bren does it even better from that clutch situation.
Yeah, but then Gwen strikes right back with a low 104 time, going with these low lines again. Like, both of these players definitely showed up this game.
I'm so happy to see Gwen driving this pace, because we're used to seeing it when he trains. It's a really good sign for a G1 fan.
Is a really good sign for a G1 fan. And then we have some mistakes coming in here from the quarter pipe jumps. These are definitely not easy, even though the players make them look like it. It is one of the hardest tricks on any of the maps, going as low as possible, because if you don't, you lose that pace, so you're forced to go risky.
And think about this, Jnic. As we go back to the live game, we're going on to Gyroscope. Talking about Gwen's pace being a factor, he drove world record on this map yesterday with a 101.
That is impressive.
Low 102, fast 101s. Gwen and Binks both are able to deliver that pace, and Bren and Otak really has to work for it now to stop them on this map. They are really good here, G1.
Also, once again, I will just point out this is my favorite map. There is ice slides, there's 360s, there's pretty much anything you would want from a map that, you know, you think about when you think about Trackmania. There's even a bobsleigh loop, which I think is one of the only places we see those things. We don't see them anywhere else in the TMWC, but we don't see them many other places at all in the game.
I like bobsleigh loops. I tend to build them. I think they're a good element of the game, and I'm happy to see them on the pro stage as well represented. My favorite blocks, but this is far from my favorite map. It's too difficult. The pros make it look easy. Gwen and Bran coming up to the first round of the identity here. Both are going to go for that sideways strategy, lining up the angle, flicking back the car in the dirt here with that slide. Gwen, once again, we talked about his pace on this map. Will he win round one? He gets a good time. 1:02.05, instantly right back to his pace from yesterday. And Binks gets third. That's a win for G1 on this first round.
It is. They're actually looking really good against Karmine Corp right now. And, you know, I think they need this momentum. This momentum will help them build even further of a lead, I think. Going into the first round, they win. Going into the second round, hopefully they can keep the speed. We see actually two completely different setups here from the start. Gamers First going into a very inside line. They're on the dirt. Oh, Bren making a mistake. This is also something that's going to get communicated immediately from Gamers First. Otak is now in the lead as Gwen made a mistake as well. Multiple mistakes coming in here as Binks might not even be able to finish because of that mistake.
Yeah, Binks got stuck in a bad respawn loop. Happens when you crash exactly as you cross a checkpoint. At that point, you just get stuck in this respawn crash. Has to fully stand still, respawn 21 seconds behind. So Gwen here, best he can hope for is somehow catching up to Otak, but I think the calls are being heard in the comms here. Go safe, do the 360 here, don't risk anything. Oh, we do have Otak not doing it though, but if he can do this consistently, then that is good enough. Hold that thought. Gwen is 2.5 seconds behind. Gwen
overtaken. And that is why we say sometimes going safe is not bad. He chose to go risky, but you never know. Maybe he feels safer going with the risky strat if he hasn't practiced the safe strat too much. Once again, you can either go sideways here and slide over the anti-boosters, or you can do a full 360 and go backwards over them. Going backwards over them is significantly safer, significantly more consistent, but also significantly slower.
That round was Casey's round to rights by all means, but a nice steal there. It makes it a draw, and G1 will remain 1 point ahead. That low speed line from the G1 squad, I think, helps them with this setup as they survive that entrance. Otak very slow into it, not getting the ice slide all the way up to the bobsleigh loop, and that shows 1.5 seconds now. Really tough spot for Brent to be in. Needs to beat Binks and Gwen's pace, and they are going to drive towards 1:01, and we could have an ace now coming through. Splits should be seen already. 0.8 of a second, and it's going to transfer into more as Binks respawns and makes the ace unlikely. Actually, looks like a draw situation is possible. Let's first see Gwen though. Can he get that ending right from the situation Otak was in earlier?
He does see himself in a 2-second lead. He is in no...
Oh, he did the 360, I believe.
Yeah, I think he's in no rush. He can do a 360 here. And Otak trying to see if he can catch back up on the off chance that he made a mistake. Bren maintains that third place, and they're having another draw. I mean, I think that's kind of just the thing about Karmine Corp and Gamers First right now, and this match in general. Like, they're drawing a lot.
A lot of draws. You have the crashes coming through. Unfortunately there, Binks from second place got that slide out, and the situation could have been very different. But they did win map 1, and they're looking good on their own map as well. And if they get up to 2 maps of a lead, that could be big for them. Bren into this respawn loop we talked about. So tough to get out of because it's just going to keep happening. And so he might have to stand still, respawn, and put all his chips on that. Otak can deny a win here. An ace would be terrible, but also losing 2 points would put them behind.
it would put them even further behind. And this is actually a great spot to be in if you're a G1 fan. Hopefully they can get ahead of Otak here. Binks trying to secure the ace. He knows that Bren is so far behind, so Binks will full send it. There is no reason not to. Either you get the ace or you get the 2 points. So let's see if he can get over Otak. Can he overtake? Almost. Is he going to go for the 360? No, he goes for the fast line. Otak also doing that and securing the second place. It's going to be 2 points for Gamer First, 6-4.
Gwen is just nasty consistent here. I want to point it out. He had that one crash, but apart from that, 102.05, 102.23, 102.08. I'm sure this time actually beats a lot of players' personal bests, and with the exception of one round, he's driven it every time, and he did this yesterday too. This is a map you might just have to ban against G1, because Gwen is going to get first place 90% of the time.
That is so impressive to be able to do that under a high pressure situation like this and do it consistently. You also see him in the lead already as of right now. Binks with a little bit more speed might be able to catch up to his teammate, but they are in first and second place. Super impressive here against KC, and they might be able to take 2 map wins in a row.
Oh, this is looking dangerous. This is looking like a possible ace. 9-4 would be the scoreline if that happens.
Oh, okay.
Binks left alone in the lead as Gwen, just when we pointed out, makes the oh-so-rare mistake. A rare draw would be happening here as well. Not so rare, actually, but Gwen in last makes it a possibility. Bren and Binks through the ring now into the ending. Bren does probably push this all in for a win. Gets the good setup for the first fling. Equal to Binks now on the second. Side by side, opposite directions. Bren lining up for the fling to the finish. Binks missing, and that's an ace.
What a crazy ending. That is such an unfortunate ace if you are a G1 fan. But Karmine Corp coming back right there, 7-6, and now they're neck and neck once again.
And it's so unfortunate for Binks too that he could have crashed into the block, but he got sent perfectly in between them and got stuck behind on the sand. Just really what you don't want to happen, and what you really don't want to happen either, is crashing the first 10 seconds like Bren did, now 1 second behind the others.
Yeah, no, actually, Bren already crashed quite a lot.
4 seconds.
He is very far behind, and once again, G1, they noticed this. They also noticed that Gwen is about 0.7 ahead of Otak, so Gwen looks to be taking home the lead. Binks wants to see if he can get this ace down. It would be huge for G1 to go up to 9 points, but even those 2 points would equalize it. 8-8 would also make it a very, very interesting match, which is why Otak is trying to overtake right now, going for the low jump, and hopefully we're gonna see him risk it fully here in the ending.
Needs to go for it. If he wasn't safing when he was first, he's not gonna safe when he's third. Otak on Binks's tailwind right now, looking for a bit more, but cannot get it. The ace comes through, and Gwen 101.874, a fantastic time from the French prodigy. Remember the name here, Gwen on Gyroscope. He is insane.
Absolutely. I think that's all. Is that not the first 101 we've seen today as well?
Yeah, but I mean, that is just spectacular.
That is incredible.
Lost for words.
And now, Gamers First, all they need to do is not be on the bottom 2 positions. And, I mean, we've seen Gwen. He's not going to be in one of the bottom 2 positions.
Except if he crashes. It's not easy to drive this pace. It's not to be taken for granted. He really pushes it, leaving that left back wheel there, just behind the bobsleigh corner here, going so close to that tree that he once crashed. And now, also up here, he slid out once on the ice. There's a lot that can go wrong for Gwen, sorry, but it's not going wrong right now. Bren 6 seconds behind, and they have to deny the points. It's really likely that G1 take this map now.
Yeah, I think it's more than really likely, but they also know that G1, they are doing the call-outs on chat, in voice, and they know as long as they don't miss out on 10 seconds here in the ending, they will be taking home this second map win in a row. Gwen not going safe at all, neither is Binks. Well, only one of them really needs to make it to the ending here, but they both do it in a great fashion with the ace to end it off.
Nice ace. I think secretly they were both like, we probably won this, but I want to beat you in this round. And there it looked like they pushed it a little bit. But yeah, strong showing for G1 on their own map. Very, very dominant here. And the problem for KC is they're fast, they're consistent. But if you cannot beat Gwen, the best you can hope for is draws, right? Because he will always get that first place.
But everybody makes mistakes, as we see right now here in round 2, where everybody does just one mistake, except OTAC here. So it does happen. You're not free from mistakes no matter what your pace is.
Yeah, Gwen crashing in that round was one of the rare crashes he had. He also had some glory moments here. OTAC was in first, and then he missed the angle. Look, it looks like the same angle you go for every time, but it wasn't good enough to get past, and that means Gwen and the clean line takes
This was the same round that Gwen crashed at the start,
it was. Right? He actually won that.
So yeah, no, just goes to show just the pace that these players are driving. And also, if you make a mistake, you can't just sit back and relax. You gotta see if you can snipe it back, because you never know what's gonna happen later in the rounds, right?
It is a new map, new possibilities coming up now for KC to come back in the game. So we're seeing G1 again, their highlight moments from that map. Freestyle is the track. It was chosen by KC, and they are really consistent here. 107.7 is their best pace. The world record is a 107.4 by Granati. And their consistency, their median pace, is right around 108 low.
I mean, that is incredibly fast. That is actually enough to contend, Solary as well on this map. So I think we're gonna see G1 have to push a little bit harder, but being 2 maps ahead puts them in a little bit of a safer spot. So maybe they feel a little safer, which would help them as well in the mental game. You never know.
Yeah, we will see. This map was actually not played yet by G1, and it wasn't chosen by them either in their game yesterday. I do think that means it's not one of their best maps, but we will have to see what they've been working on. Maybe they have some secrets here that we still haven't seen.
There was a slight technical issue, that's why we're waiting a little bit longer here in the warm-up, but at least we can get to see the map. Maybe we can even jump into the map preview while we wait for the game to start. Oh, that is the warm-up ending in 10 seconds. So yes, we are starting here on the first round of Freestyle.
I'd rather see the live rounds and the preview once again. I'd rather just get right into it. Let's see what Freestyle has to bring for KC. I think this is a must-win map. Going down 3-0 and onto G1's picks would be very tough to come back from. We have not seen a reverse sweep yet in the league, so this is a must-win situation for them. They're starting out strong here. Good pace in the opening, keeping up with Gwen and Binks. And now we get to the important no-steer angle. Bren gets it good. OTAC is right there with him. They've passed Gwen, who actually has dropped down a 10th. Not too much yet. Still everyone in the mix for this win. Gwen hitting the ring.
Oh, he still survives.
But still survives, able to adapt and land. And I think he's actually going to gain from this because, oh no, he dropped the gear. If he held the gear, it would have been a different story. But he passes OTAC.
He does indeed, and now it's all up to the identity. Binks is really close to Bren right now, and Gwen is not too far behind. So if Bren makes a mistake, ooh, OTAC with so much speed overtaking up to P3. It looked like Bren made a mistake, and now Binks is in the lead.
Can Bren make it? I don't know if Bren makes it. I think it's a win for G1 because Bren does not have sufficient speed. He gets stuck there on that last checkpoint, and Gwen will take it indeed.
Indeed, and Gamers First gets the first 2 points.
Yeah, shows that danger of crashing in the first flip can actually make you fail the second.
Yeah, because you need the speed to... Well, if you don't have the speed, you can always go for the 360, which is what we saw. That's the backup strategy, but you lose quite a lot of speed, and you need to be able to adjust for that line on the fly.
And here's interesting thing as well. Binks' winning pace there was 107.9. That instantly keeps up with the best winning times of Bren and OTAC, right around that 107.7 mark yesterday. They're going to need to elevate their level. They're not faster on paper here.
No, not significantly, but are they more consistent? That's the question. Or did G1 put in the homework? We see OTAC with a slight mistake, and G1 now in the lead, looking to try to see if they can ace it. Bren is the one who has to deny them that option here, but he is a little bit further behind. Maybe he gets more speed in the uphill.
The speed in the uphill.
Great speed. Overtaken up to second place, it looks like, just about. He's gonna have to risk the identity quite a bit.
Oh, one of them falls, and that's gonna be a possible opponent for OTAC to overtake. Bren gets past Gwen here and puts himself into first. Now hoping for OTAC to catch Binks somewhere, but OTAC is 7 seconds behind. Bren clips, and that could be an ace now. No, Bren makes it still to make it just a regular victory.
That is so important that he didn't clip in a way where he fell down, because that would have been a ace for G1. Not good if you're Karmine Corp, but This is just the start of the map. Only 2-4. Nothing is over yet. I think they can bring it back. We have seen worse situations. Earlier today, we saw Big being down 7-1, and they still came back.
They did indeed. The scoreline itself is not the problem. It's the momentum that G1 are building. Winning these rounds on KC's map choice and taking just hold of the match as a whole. 2 maps up now, looking for a third, showing we can keep up with you on what you wanted to play. Let's bring it. And they really got to shift this narrative in their mind that they are worse, because they have a long way to go back into the game, even after taking this map.
Look at these lines, all landing in a slide there at the bottom. Bren is going to have more speed than Gwen. I don't know if he's going to have enough to get quite up there. Also getting overtaken by his teammate, but now we're getting really close. All of the players within 0.2 of each other, 0.3 of each other. Oh, we have a mistake coming in from Bren, and now Binks gets that 3rd place, giving even more points. Gwen with a slight little hiccup. He actually still makes it, but can he make this jump now? He has to do like the 360 or something, right?
Oh, that is so tough. And that means that this will be the win for KC. Great consistency from Otak, 107.81. Fast time as well. But really, it shows that danger. If you crash that second one, you are actually kind of stuck.
You are. Like, you need to... The worst case scenario is you have to full respawn, right? Which is what I was worried about. I am kind of happy that they can't see our faces when we cast this, because some of the faces that I make on a mistake like that, I'm just all my face muscles just scrunch.
Yeah, it is hard not to get excited with this riveting gameplay we're seeing all throughout the day. We are fully invested into this, and I mean, if this is your first time watching Trackmania Esports, I invite you to follow along. It's a long season. This is only game day 2, and exact same time next weekend we will be live for more games. This is the final game of the day here, and of course we can only hope that the script writers put in a best of 7 for us to enjoy.
Yes, that last best of 7 was also very, very nail-bitey. Otak here with a wonderful line. Hopefully he might be able to get this speed on the uphill. Bing's getting it really well as well, but look at that speed coming in from Otak and Bren, putting themselves in the top 2 positions, looking to ace it back here. Karmine Corp going into the identity. Otak in the lead, getting nice speed. Will he maintain it? Getting a little bit lower of a jump, and it's still Karmine Corp in the lead. Hopefully they will maintain it. Bing's right behind them. Nobody makes a mistake. Actually, 2 of them do, but Bren gets it. Otak 100s ahead of Bings.
To get the ace there by 100th. Quick reaction from Otak. Even though he crashed, he went for the full left corner of the finish line, whereas Binks went more for the middle. That actually was the difference maker.
That is crazy. When you're talking about 100ths of a second difference, it is the minuscule differences. We're talking the minor speed slide. We're talking just 2% of an angle less on the entrance of a jump. Whatever it is, 100ths of a second. That is the matches you like to see.
Yeah, and just to touch on that part where we see Bren and Otak get so much speed, the reason they're faster is the number in the bottom right corner. When you see gear 4 on dirt, it means that sliding gains you speed. If you're in gear 3, you are no longer faster if you slide. Gwen and Binks, with the line they take, will not be in gear 4 in that uphill, whereas Bren and Otak, they gear early. So watch this here. You're gonna see Gwen try to stay on the inside line and not shifting to that gear 4 until here. Here he actually gets it right and keeps up with Bren's speed. But last round, that was not the case. That's a very important part.
Yeah, those gears are important to look out for. All the pros are definitely fully versed as we go into the identity once again. Is anybody going to make a mistake? This is way harder than it looks. Ooh. Gwen, unfortunately, jumping a little bit too low. Will he make this second jump? He's going to have less speed. Binks' teammate overtakes him. He does make the second jump, equalizing it, making it a draw.
Great from Binks there to defend just in case, because if Otak could pass Gwen and Binks wasn't there, that would be the game. That would be done on this map. 8-6 now. Karmine Corp just need a regular win, whereas Gamers First would need a regular win and a draw to go into overtime. They could also win with an ace and a win here.
They could, and just goes to show the consistency that KC has on this map. There's a reason that they picked it, and they're hoping that they can win now, because if Gamers First, they do get this victory, that's 3 victories in a row, and that pace, that momentum is hard to beat.
It is so hard to come back from. The mental draining you feel after practicing so much and then losing 3 maps in a row against a team you perhaps feel you should beat. But the times don't lie. Every round here, players are just gonna have to drive the best times they can and hope it's enough to beat the opposing team. Otak now trying to go a little bit extra to get past the 2 players from G1 and deny the ace. This is the winning opportunity G1 has to get back in the game. If they get this ace, they are right back in it on the map. If not, if Bren, for example, can deny them here and just get in between them, get past one of them, either Binks or Gwen, they stand a much better chance to win. But G1, clean when it matters, 107.5 from Gwen. They are now ahead.
That is close to world record as well. I think it is, right? Isn't it 107.4, I think?
107.4 by Granati.
Exactly.
So 107.5, amazing.
It's an amazing time. And Gamers First now putting themselves in the position where even a draw is going to give them the victory.
Yeah, they suddenly have such a big upper hand. Really just a normal victory wouldn't even make KC win. It would just be overtime. They need the ace to close it out here, but a normal win is also necessary to not lose. So here they have to get past at least Gwen up in first. They can't let him be there.
Oh.
Bren respawning all now on Otak. Otak has driven the fastest times for KC in this match. He's gotten to 107.7, but he needs 107.5,
No,
and no, he's upside down through the ring. Bren is down there as well. This is looking like G1 will get 3 maps back to back to back.
3 maps. That is such a mental advantage to have going into this 4th map here. Gwen and Binks will cruise into the finish. They might even go for the safe lines if they want to, because they are 6 seconds ahead. We see Binks here not going for the full safe, but definitely jumping higher, just making sure he's getting those jumps.
Oh my god, what on earth?
What is
Gwen?
that, a world record coming in from Gwen when I was telling him to save?
You're supposed to save
You're
to win the round.
supposed to save if you win the
Unreal.
round. Oh, okay.
Well, alright. I think you just got to see what Gwen is made of.
I mean, at
When
that
people
point, you're just flexing on people, right?
When people say he is fast, they are not kidding. He is so consistently fast. He just needs to have enough time to actually train the map. Sometimes he doesn't have the motivation, sometimes he doesn't have the time because of school. He's young.
I mean, yeah.
So crazy to see Gwen there driving fast on Gyroscope, getting a world record there. Now he's getting a world record on this map, and we're going on to Slowdown, a map that G1 picked, but not before we watch the replays.
Yeah, so here we have a replay where KC is getting some good speed on the downhill, making them get that ace. And then right after, we're going to jump into one where we see them get back into a map with...
This was the ace that got them back into the
this
game.
was the ace.
Barely by 100. Look at that inside line here from Otak, getting that finish, and then the last replay, of course, G1, this killing blow, you could say, where they both aced KC and got to 9-6. It was no possible to come back from that after that.
I mean, it was possible. It's just very, very dangerous.
Yeah, drive of 107.35.
I mean, just world
Just do
record.
that, yeah, just do
lol,
that,
just
lol.
world record,
If Gwen
dude.
can do it, why can't
Yeah.
you? Yeah, no.
No, but now we're gonna jump into Slowdown, another really, really difficult map here. A very pace-based map, especially in the ending. And I'm looking forward to seeing if anybody else is gonna do that strategy that Granati did with going super wide to get more speed into the final checkpoint.
We saw KC play this against Sinners. That was an eventful match with a lot of action. The time's often around 56.9. Bren on that pace right now, up ahead. But both G1 players have made small mistakes, and they could start out by just getting aced off the bat. Depends on Binks here if he can catch. Guts ahead of Otak in this downhill, but the last one is the most important, and Otak is slightly faster to the finish line, though the details matter, and it's a tie. It's a dead tie.
It's a dead
and
tie.
These are decided not by name. They are decided by who was ahead at the last checkpoint,
Which is
was
great.
Otak.
Which is great.
So no alphabetic scandals here.
Yeah, if you guys didn't know, in ranked matchmaking, if you tie with another player, the name is the decider. If you have A in your name, you win against the person with B in their name.
So Otak there, able to get an ace for his team on the dead tie. But that is so important, actually. That is 2 full points gained. 2-1 instead of 3-0, right?
That is important. And Karmine Corp looking to bring back, like reverse the situation.
Oh, mistake.
As I
Big
say that,
respawn.
Bren unfortunately flies out of the bobsleigh and has to full respawn. And now we are gonna try to G1 is going to try to see if they can get the reverse ace. Gwen is in a great lead. Binks just needs to overtake Otak. Let's see if he can do it. Going a little bit more inside. Might lose some of that speed. Almost flying too far. Breaking his car. But he can still make it. Otak flying down. And that's going to be the ace for Gamers First.
Gwen is driving incredible times right now. 0.6. That matches the pace of Carl Jr. and Pack in their game. And they're going to get an ace right back.
Oh, and it's 3-3. It is looking dangerous for Karmine Corp, but they are not over it yet. We have not yet seen a reverse sweep 4 maps in a row from any of the other teams. Is Karmine Corp going to be the team to do so?
Are they gonna get it? I mean, I'm seeing a lot of comfort here for G1. They had some mistakes, but just the daringness from Binks and Gwen to go this close to the walls in the opening turns, where maybe at most you gain like 100th by doing so, shows they are very comfortable. You wouldn't do that if you were feeling nervous right now. They have 3 maps behind them that they've already won. They just need a 4th, and they are driving great on this map to do so on their own choice. KC, this would take a heroic effort to get it, but Otak needs to try all he can this ending. Catching 2/10 to Gwen, I can say is good luck.
Yeah, good luck with that. That's gonna be difficult. Gwen driving some incredible paces for the last 3 maps in a row, and he is not stopping just yet, but Otak is getting a little bit closer. Yeah, he's getting more speed as well. Oh, barely getting it. We're talking 0.006 of a second up to Gwen.
Oh, he missed a little bit of the line into the finish. We need to take a look at that in slow motion later. Such small margins this game. Otak first getting a draw that he won in here. 6,000th against him that round. But he did actually do just what we said. I said it as a joke. Otak's not joking around here. He's going all in. He wants to be the best French team in the league. He wants to represent this new org that picked him up. Show what he's made of. 56.7. An amazing time from him. But here, the details are not on his side. And G1 could go up to get another ace. This is really close to a decisive result.
Yeah, Gwen also made a mistake, slowing him down quite a bit, and he's now going to be a second behind Gwen. And Binks and Gwen are going to be alone in the lead. They're communicating this to each other. This ending is not too risky if you save it, and you don't actually lose much more than 0.2 if you go a little bit too safe. And Bren and Otak, they're going to absolutely mega risk. Yeah, Gwen even made a small mistake, but there's no reason to risk it. They take it home there with a safe ending and an ace.
8-5, 1 win away from doing the sweep that Solary did yesterday, that Big did today, winning all 4 maps in a row here. Just needs 1 more normal win. Bren and Otak need 2 aces here. That's the quickest way, and if they can survive 1 round, it would have to be a victory.
Yes, or a draw, for that matter. But it's definitely, they would prefer that victory. And Gamers First, they're just looking for 1 person to get first place on their team. If Gwen gets first, that's it. That's the game over.
Oh, but he crashed. This is an ace opportunity. Gwen has crashed, and Binks has also crashed really far behind. They're in a completely opposite situation now, where they are the ones that need to pull the brakes and say, look, 1 second on slowdown, that is an eternity. We can now have lunch across the last identity. Just don't crash anything and break your car. That's the one rule of this map. Do not break your car in the last part, and you'll get the ace here in a situation like this.
And they do. They release. They turn just a little bit extra. It's the right thing to do. Even if you lose some pace, it does not matter. Getting to that finish line in one piece, that's what you want to do. And they did it perfectly. 7-8 now, and all of a sudden, Karmine Corp can come back if they get another ace.
Yeah, do not think this is over soon, because Karmine Corp won big round from the blue players, and they could put it to a new map, reset the score lines, and say to G1, yeah, we're not done. You're still stuck with us for at least another map. But here, Binks and Gwen are already off to a great start.
They are indeed. Otak trying to push it as well. The wider you go there on turns like that on the dirt surface will push you even further, give you more speed. Here, we've seen multiple people make mistakes. Everybody gets through that penalty grass section perfectly. Gwen and Binks still in the lead. Gwen trying to extend it, 0.1 ahead of the rest of the players. Otag and Bren needs to push it here, but we're gonna see an identity where everybody pushes as hard as they possibly can because it's only 0.2 separating the teams. What is gonna happen here in the identity? One more drift and we get into it. Are they gonna go for the wide line? Everybody goes super tight. Anybody getting airtime? And we have one person getting airtime. It is
Casey could win.
Casey could win if they get this. No, Otag also with a mistake. Gwen getting first. It's gonna be a tie.
It's gonna be a tie, and look at the time, 56.5. Gwen is a menace. He will put them to 9-8 in such an important round. He drives the fastest run we've seen on this map yet, and now pressure's on. G1, a draw is enough. Karmine Corp, they have to win to get them to overtime. They have to ace to close it out this exact round. Any mistake will be so detrimental to the team that makes it. Gotta keep it clean.
Gotta keep it clean. Hopefully they can do so. Everybody currently doing that as of right now. Going into this third turn and bobsleigh right after. Bren is in the lead. Gwen, Otag, Binks following really close. But I think it's once again gonna come down to this identity.
Oh, Bren hitting the sign there. Otag, you have to save it somehow, but you need one of the G1 players to make a big mistake, because if they don't, they can just get that draw. Even if Otag wins here, he needs to see someone break the car. Bren has a second to gain, and it's not looking like it's gonna happen. G1 are going to save this to the line. Great attempt by Casey, but it's a clean sweep, 4-0.
Yeah, 4-0 for Gamers First. You love to see it. A little bit of an underdog story coming in to this game, but they made it work. Wonderful stuff.
Looking at their match yesterday, is a completely different team we see now. They got swept by Alliance 4-1, and here they go 4-0. Let's have a look at some of the replays that made this happen, particularly on the last map.
Yeah, we have a tie coming in between Otag and Binks, just showcasing just how tight these maps are.
Yeah, a tie, dead to the 1,000. Gotta get a slow-mo on the part where they cross the line here. You can see that Otag actually had the lead, but then a little bit wide there. And Binks is able to get a tie, was not able to win it though, due to the checkpoint rule.
No, but G1 does answer right back with an ace of their own here on round number 2, turning it into a 3-3.
And just those times from Gwen as well, insane. 6,000ths right there for Gwen to win that round where Otag was behind. Such incredibly close margins, but that is how it goes. Gwen and Binks look amazing today.
They do indeed look amazing. I mean, that was an incredible game by incredible players. KC also, even though they lost, put up some great times, indeed showing us that just because you have great pace, it is not enough. You have to have great consistency, a great mindset. It was just awesome esports for today.
Yeah, and I think they did really well in banning parkour. They realized, like, look, we do not want to play this today again, because that was a bad round for them against the Lions. They come out close. Let's take a look at the overall standings of the league now. After all teams have played 2 matches, we can get to see how they rank up. As far as I know, there's one team that's gone 2-0. There's one team that lost both their games, and the rest are draws. Apparently, we don't have that. You will see it.
We will see it very soon. I also urge everybody to go to Reddit, go to Twitter, read up on the stats, join the discussion.
Yeah, become part of it. You can even download Trackmania if you haven't played it. It's a lot harder than it looks, but it's also a lot of fun. You do not need to play like these guys to enjoy the game.
No. These guys are on top of the world. They are the best 16 players that the game has to offer. That's also why they're making these maps look so easy, even though they are some of the most difficult maps in the game.
But with that, I think we are done with the Trackmania Grand League broadcast today. You might see me live again on this channel later. I have a Mario tournament to practice for. I gotta do some speed runs. I would once again like to thank production, that is Rave Out and SP Villa behind the scenes, working on replays, on cameras, angles, on the map previews and stuff, and just making our job as the casters easier. And of course, Jnic as well. Thank you so much for joining me at the caster desk. You're going to be live tomorrow, aren't you?
Yes, I will be live tomorrow morning. I'll also be playing these maps. I play high-ranked matchmaking, so that includes these maps. Sometimes we also get to play against pros. It's going to be very interesting, so that's going to be great fun.
Once again, though, what a fantastic start to the Trackmania Grand League. It is live again next weekend, Sunday at 5 o'clock Central European Time. That is in exactly 1 week. Mark the date, and let's see what more the season has to offer. Thank you guys so much for watching the cast. We'll see you with the new cast next week.
Bye.